Oh, don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world, trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
You're not trying to escape, are you?
Meet your maker!
You're not trying to escape, are you?
I'm ready!
I'll yield to none!
Greet the Reaper for me!
Greet the Reaper for me.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now, no need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Well, look what the doc dug up. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages. Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plan. Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
Oh, I don't even remember them strapping me down. Oh, I don't even remember them strapping me down. Oh, I don't even remember them strapping me... Playing dead, are you? Probably a good idea. freight or food?
Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle? Empty. The Magister Guard snorts and sniffles as he sleeps. You're almost impressed that one man can make such a phlegmy racket.
Is my shift over? Are you here to relieve me?
Wait, you're no Magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. My fists ache to meet a new face.
The Magister considers you, shrugs, and curls his hands into fists.
You're honest, I'll give you that. I should have known there'd be trouble. So much for a peaceful stroll. Boring.
Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in? Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here. Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think. Suit yourself, but we're all in the same...
The prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as his gaze finds the sunken hollows that...
Ah, freed. I'm nothing if not a man of my word. And I did give my word I'd set... You there. Come here. Hey. Hey. Get me out. Your guess is as good as mine. Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think. A gentleman among jesters, you...
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring...
Wait, you're no magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your word. One more step, and it will be your last. Excellent choice. Now, answer me. What are you doing here?
The Magister considers...
You're honest, I should have known there'd be trouble.
So much for a peaceful stroll.
The prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as it...
Ah, I'm nothing if not a man of my word. And I did give my...
What would he have to gain by killing me? I need to keep my guard up.
Empty.
And I'm back where I started. Ah, nowhere to go but up.
No lesions, no trauma. He was bled by magic.
Empty.
My, these smelling salts are strong stuff.
It seems as though this...
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snug. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sorts. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
No known associates. In fact, he seems
She frowns and peers at you.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just is he? Oh well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they?
Good gods. This...
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass. Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
quite averse to spending time with the others.
You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man. Small ones this time, thank the god. We'll find out who did it, one way or another. Nothing to see here.
The pale young woman doesn't...
No ma. Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even? You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything.
What a well-arranged this door is. Dallas is such a dear lending it to me.
hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like. Rolling dice. Deciding fates. Don't worry, honey.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a corner.
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She looks at you in surprise when you...
My. Guess I'll have to find out the memory from Marrow, won't I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, watching, staring at them, hoping that none would stare back. You were thinking of flesh, or to be rather more precise, the pleasures of the flesh, those that have eluded you for so long.
She pats you on the shoulder consolingly.
There, I don't lick and...
That has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I bet 3 months' pay it's this trampy-fan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down with...
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop... Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself. Not interested in the son of the Divine himself? I don't blame you one bit.
What are you conspiring about over there?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as...
Away with you!
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
You are chill, aren't you? I ain't saying nothing. Bloody dwarves. I'll come back to you, but you better be ready to talk here.
Why won't you sing? That's enough.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming
The
out
ship,
of vague
of course.
His eyes snap open. He looks at you and frowns.
Murder? I wouldn't know anything about... I kill a man. He knows who done it. His daddy knows who done it. And the mayor.
His eyes flutter shut, and he assumes...
Whether they catch me is another matter. But I ain't one to hide my accomplishments.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible...
And?
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Then you're not listening hard enough, mate. Go on.
That right? I always knew you'd turn up drunk to the bed nest.
You've got ears on your head, haven't you? You need me to show you. There now. Just like squeeze. Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Sing us a song. I know you can. I know there's... Yes,
No, you beautiful idiot. That wasn't any rat. It was the wheel. Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means... Burn my beard. That means... If we've been travelling for... Yes! Only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy!
Back to you, and you better be ready to talk here.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard.
Captain, actually. And that figure tells me we're getting close to the Joy. Close to what lies...
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
You've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over...
You one of them? A Divine Order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but make no mistake.
Ask what you must. I've nothing to hide.
Seems to me you should be a little more afraid. There's a killer about
Till overboiling a bit of cabbage becomes a crime, I shall hold my head steady.
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this...
The lizard looks you up and down. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely. What are you trying to hear anyway? I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
And of course, a cook who can't taste is about as useful as a dog in a chess game. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
Right. I always knew you'd turn out rotten Ben missed. Your kind always hung closest to our divine. Wolves around a campfire.
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after. Just as I thought. So, 3 questions asked, 3... As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
Mad? Insufferable?
My slave, of course. Oh, but I see. Yes, I suppose it must take some time for the full extent of still. Hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tube. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one. Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up? You think me mad? Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely. What are you trying to hear anyway? I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
See on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
That's enough now.
Name? The Divine Order wants to know. Well, you aren't here on my list. Scrammy, we're trying to catch a killer here.
Always hung closest to our divine. Wolves around a campfire.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every... He reaches out and examines your bandages, rubbing them between...
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen course dinners.
Ah, yes. The nice. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... Well, it is pleasurable to meet you.
The Magister's more concerned than your appetite.
Is there? Wherever do you keep it? Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the begin. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No. I want to know about this text. Tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did... Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to...
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet.
It's a register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Sorry you're upset, sir, but we all wear what we wear for a reason. You head on in now, William.
It was one of them. I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer. I'm better.
We're like cattle to them.
I'm here because I'm magic. Are you here because you're weird? What's your job? You look...
One of us wouldn't kill our own.
You look like my daddy. His name is Frida. He's
Just skip to the part where
Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly, deathly allergical.
The young woman seems about to raise her hand, but quickly remembers herself and nods point.
Who indeed? Why, my name is, Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb.
The children break out into giggles.
I say, it is.
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the...
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and get, and maybe I'll sing you something.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? Like yourself, maybe. I don't mind the kiddies, usually. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too... You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run as quickly as they came. The clouds clear. She smiles.
Good luck, Chief.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of me. Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
And if she tries to run,
Shoot to kill. You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul. I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely
Stop
right.
trying on her. And if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like the...
No. No, not the final dark. Not yet.
Her hand lies limp in yours.
The dice roll darkly.
Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground. His eyes flicker open. Ifan cries out.
Oh! What happened? Must have been the turnip. Water? Wine, for goodness sake!
The lizard's eyes close.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way. Not long before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
Thank the gods. By divine grace, who was that howling?
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer! Like you don't know? Mutiny! Did that witch fix your collar too? Go on then. Find a place.
Bishop Alexander, if Lucian were alive, what would he think of his son's divine order?
You need to find a hiding place. What?
And you thought Rivellon was flat?
God damn it! Need to get off this wreck, and quick! Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull! Gods, I need to get off this ship.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's.
No! What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet.
The skeleton looks up and...
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read the bloody book he's holding. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to. I believe you did, although I was wearing the face of an elf at the time. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands. Indeed. Just as sensible as getting off as... I would say good day, but it seems quite likely that you're about to die.
The skeleton shrugs casually and...
Please, my time is short, although you'll... Please, my time is short, although yours, I gather, is infinitely shorter.
The marking on the door was painted recently. Judging from its pungence, you press your palm against the door to open it. Your fingers clack against the wood, and you suddenly feel grey, that it doesn't budge.
That means there's still a chance.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you. There's a ladder right over there.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
The Magister lies on the floor,
Wait! Find Woken!
Bugs would sink the ship on my watch.
They who are about to triumph.
I thought Voidwoken was supposed to be scary.
Let the games begin.
I've faced worse.
touch the door, grain is seeped.
Please, my time is short. Or...
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? It seems someone, something, wanted me alive. I thought the Order would get rid of any trace of the old Source King. Garbage.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
The child considers your statement.
You're weird. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching the shadows cloaking your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy. Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, and it's a lot nicer out here than inside. But you didn't die. Guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. No worries, there isn't anywhere safer. You'll see. You can stay out here with me if you want. You don't seem that scary.
This statue must be 1,000 years old. Wonder how much longer it'll last. Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. Headed to shore. We're supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a Voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water. Yes, you recognize him from... You spot a strange lizard. Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer. Or a duelist. You look...
Yes, I imagine you do. Chances are I wouldn't have survived the shipwreck. Had you not... You have my...
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
My gratitude is worth a great deal, if only you'd realize it. But of course you don't, so we'll leave it at that. Now then, if there's nothing further... If you really must know, I haven't quite decided yet. I've a frightful amount of things on my mind, hence my...
He sighs, dramatic.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments.
As for myself, when I consider this, I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. Yes, but these weren't castles in the sky, were they? Quite obviously, I was musing over...
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he...
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the seven have... I am the Red Prince. The All-Conqueror. The World-Tamer. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which...
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and the grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. This and that. Tag along. Do you really... On the other hand, I really could do with a dog's body. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. You do tend to beat around the bush, don't you? Oh well, that wishy-washy answer will have to do then. The undead? Like your... Come now, did you really think a handful of linen? But don't worry. I have studied the arcane arts for years, including necromancy and demonology. I do not hold... So, now that that's settled, even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Do not take my elegance as a mask for frailty. My blows shatter shields, and my thrusts pierce armor. If a warrior you need, the warrior you'll have. I offered the perfection of the blade, and you seek... Very well. Onwards, then, to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives...
Now, as you're aware, you'll be traveling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so of course there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it.
A black cat. Hello, kitty.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but its eyes clear, and it shakes it.
Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that. I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. 1, 2, long dead of the crew. 3, 4, pretty shells on the shore. 1, 2, long dead of the crew. 3, 4, pretty shells on the shore.
I found something.
else. As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face.
Bugger. How on earth am I...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upward.
Damnation. That's stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh. It's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit. I chased her here, but she rather seems to...
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Why, its face, of course. What other use would I have? A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Carved? Please. You hardly think I am one of your breed, do you? You have never seen anything like it because you have never met anyone like... Simply put, I am an Eternal, and you are not. Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather, at least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers. Well, that hardly seems relevant. But if you must know, I was several centuries, in fact. Or perhaps I was sealed in a tomb for daring to be curious about the world. It seems our king did not agree that the universe should be explored to its full potential. Perhaps I should thank him. It seems I was spared whatever happened to the others. I wonder if flowers would be appropriate. Ah, well, that is the curious thing. They are clearly absent from this world, and yet they are. Every one of your races resembles them in some manner. And the statues you have built to your gods look remarkably familiar. Perhaps my people have ascended to some new realm. Or perhaps your gods are merely a folk memory. Regardless, they are not here. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, you seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in... Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality. But being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours? Much magic? I was controlling the powers of the universe while your people were still... doing whatever it is you used to do. What speciality would you prefer? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Splendid. Very well.
But I know nothing of any Verdus.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy Dallas.
Yes, your
I believe.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
The Lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
These creatures are so prone to violence. Naturally, the weak...
saw them, didn't you? The Hammer and Alexander. They gave that scaly traitor what for, they did. Peace is more than she deserves. She were a traitor to the core. Bishop's the son of the dead divine. Don't know when we'll get a new one, but Alexander's looking after us in the meantime all the same. And the Hammer's a solid sort. Don't take no guff and don't stand for no idling. Earned that name for a reason, she did.
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws. Wonder what's behind the masks, too. Can't be pretty. The Geists, dummy. The Hammer and Alexander had 2 in tow just a moment ago. Ugh. Thought you lot would be interested in a thing like that. Ah, no reason. Settle in, eh? A Magister will come and find you when they're ready for you. Could be a while, though. High Priest is up to his hood and sinners these days.
I told him at noon exactly. Is that indigestion?
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, they were so close, almost within arm's reach. A traitor cannot be murdered. A traitor can only receive their due. Easy enough to say in times of peace, but look around. The Void Woken are coming, sir. And it's only...
Come on then, let's eat. Hurry up.
I find only bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or a brisket, toast the same.
Your grift teaches you to bully others.
As you approach the blacksmith, you feel a bony hand on your arm. Fane leans in and whispers in your ear.
If it would be acceptable, I have an inquiry for this human. And if it would not be acceptable, well, that would render this entire conversation rather awkward.
Fane approaches the blacksmith and quietly speaks to her. You can't overhear much, but he seems to be gesturing towards her head and all. You lean in to see if you can make out anything else. You've heard about such devices. The first step in making a shape-shifting mask.
What is it with creeps like you and Master Niles? I told him to slither back to his dungeon, and you can get too, freak!
Fane backs away, scratching his head. It seems that didn't go as he'd expected. He is lost in thought, though. She must have said something he found interesting.
Just like all good kind.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts...
And what you after?
Will you quit dragging this on? Ain't that hard, Lexi. Just hand over the gold.
I'm not.
You push your indigestion. I want only bread.
A grin cracks her...
Sure thing.
Pathetic.
You keep his name out of your mouth, you filthy cut chewer.
Have your cud.
Just like all your kind.
Disgusting like threats.
Right, God. Will you quit dragging this on? Playing that on next thing. Just hand over the goal.
I will not. You push you. I want only bread.
Come on, Nixie. Hey up.
I find only bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or brisket. All's the same.
Your grift teaches you to bully others. Pathetic.
You keep his name out of your mouth. You filthy cunt, you.
Have your cud.
Disgusting. Just like all your kind.
Disgusting like threats.
Right, God. Will you quit dragging this on? Playing that on next thing. Just hand over the goal.
I will not.
Come on, then, Nixie. Hey up.
I find only bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or brisket. All's the same.
Your grift teaches you to bully others. Pathetic.
You keep his name out of your mouth. You filthy cunt, you.
Have your cud.
Disgusting. Just like all your kind.
Disgusting like theft. Disgusting like threats.
Gav None of your business, you.
Leave me. Go. You leave me.
What do you think of messing with Griff's Wilson?
Frightfully busy at the moment, love. Haven't got any liquor on hand, have you? This fella could use a little comfort. Why, look at that. Just what I ordered. Ain't you a peach, love? An old poor fella over there crossed one of Griff's card sharks and got a club to the skull. Don't to be sure, but I'd like to ease his way out.
The man sleeps so deeply, he might as well be dead to the world.
Our healer's walk is never done. Our healer's walk is never done. Unless everyone's dead, of course.
Oh, Emmy.
A little reprieve from the din outside.
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Military, are you? Be at ease here, and well met. Let me know if you need any armaments. I offer them to a...
The soldier stands to attention.
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Your kind I handle, but small ones.
I feel him, but I do not see him.
You know what they do? They play a game called Scream. In this game, they see who screams the loudest. I feel the Divine's loss.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns towards you when you approach.
Ah, hello. I see you come a long way. I see you come here seeking a great adventure. Do you find it?
I see it before my eyes.
It is not so bad. I know which days have bread and which days have none. I know more bread comes someday. It helps. Yes, please ask. It is safer here. We make no trouble for Griff. He makes no trouble for us. Oh, I do not cover my eyes. I cover the place they used to be. They are gone now, taken. But I see all the same. He is a very blind man. He sees things but not truth, not love or joy. I feel very... You understand when you meet him, after you escape. My home is far. Your language gives me some trouble. We elves... Time, for us, is now. There is not then and when.
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. But he is gone. Do you see him? He knows how to leave. Some of us are meant to remain. Some of you are meant to leave. My protector, my friend. An elf like me, with a spirit bright as new leaves. He is caught by those who hurt him. I wish so much for his return. And he tells you what you seek. A way out. I know I can trust you. I see something that helps. I see a lizard. He is a lizard of many dreams, of far feeling.
Yes. Is it an audience you desire?
A human? You stink. Manners are for humans. I'm an ancient. That means I'm...
I'll stab you right in the eye! Whack! Back, evil ogre, or I'll get you with my sword! Knights don't have parents, ogre. We only have swords. You'll regret that, evil ogre beastie demon. My sword is too strong for you. Whoever kills the other is the boss. You can't get me.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features, regal and radiant, but cold. She was the one who sat rolling dice in the ship that went under, deciding fates with every roll. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away, and you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like gaze. No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel...
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, or this time, I'll let my needle do the licking. Not so very far from home, I'm sure. This is the turf of Magisters, and Magisters tend to be...
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her. The needle still all too deeply embedded in bone. Despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship. A flaw in her diamond features. A curiously shaped scar on her left cheek.
Because it is my desire to question him intensely. You see, once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this thing, but now I'm free. Of sorts. And I've traced that lizard here. I intend to raise the subject with him. No!
She drives the needle in deeper.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. You could warn him, save him, or kill him before I get my chance. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
A bright sparkle of laughter.
Ha! How amusing. I admit I had not... Make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? Escape. How you do tickle me. Most of the misguided dears around here would argue such a thing is impossible. Oh, little needle mine. You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine and an easy breeze. I'm not quite sure the weather will save...
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and smiles, as if she just invited you to sit down for tea.
Of course you are. Or do you mean to tell me memory is so fleeting within the hollows of that windswept head of yours that you don't recall me running my dainty tongue along your arm? This may strike you as, rather eccentric, but the thought...
She tilts her head ever so slightly and looks at you.
Yes, let's discuss our respective roles. You, me, and Death will be playing many a round of hide and seek. So, what role would you like me to play? As a rogue, my speciality is stealth, the quick silence of the dagger striking unseen. That said, I'm perfectly lethal wielding any weapon or magic. So, that suits me fine. Lead on, or better than follow me.
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of proximity, but at least she's on your side.
So this is Fort Joy.
Delivery. Surely you'll have
What
one.
a crumbling
I
business.
know that look well enough. You're about to pop, ain't ya? Why don't you enter a match and let some of that frustration out the right way? Can't help you leave, but I do know how you can escape. At least for a few holy minutes.
Leave him be. Don't make me say it. Listen, I can help you if you just... Shut up, elf. This clown, caught him stealing from my kitchen. Still won't say where he stashed my supplies. Sound like someone you'd let off with a slap on the wrist.
Don't tell anyone where you got this, okay?
Supplies. Crate of food, citrus in particular. He'll talk, or he'll die quiet. Ain't been here long, have ya? No one gets to have it all. No one's...
He twirls his knife between his fingers.
Divine's gone. This blade is the only god. Alls I want is my supplies. Happy to let this clown die in a gutter instead of my kitchen. Bring back my crate, and you got yourself a deal.
You forget my name here?
Everything there?
An elf, caked in mud and blood.
You believe what he says? That I am a thief?
Perceptive. Like most men behind bars, I'm innocent. Like most of us here on the island, in fact. Aren't you like me, looking for a way out? Some people settle in. They don't go poking around in Griff's kitchen. Not you. Griff tells you, does he not? I take his supplies. I tell you what I know. But first, I want to make a trade. I know a way out. I show you. And you help me out of here. Trust is all we have here. I do not counterfeit. I have honor. Finally, Griff releases me if he sees I do not have what he misses. You must find who steals them. After I am free, you are free. I see no one. In fact, I only hear the sound of Griff clearing his throat. You know how he does. Like Sir Griff is a powerful man. Power is mysterious, in case you haven't noticed. I intend no harm. I want only some provisions. A bit of bread, a potato, you understand. Thank you.
Source change back. What if there are no sources?
Ain't fit for beasts.
What in his death?
Magister finds this on you.
We'll
You can get my name here.
keep it down, will ya? Why hasn't Alexander risen?
Ain't fit for beasts.
Heading into the kitchen. Don't try anything funny around Griff. I'm watching you. Ha! Cheeky. What's your name? All right, Slick. Haven't seen you around here before. When did you get in? I remember that feeling all too well. You think? I was raised by the whip, and I'm not afraid. Joining up with Griff's the closest thing you can get to security around here. Family, too. Till the Reds take you, anyway. There's a gap between what we want and what we can have, isn't there? Here more than anywhere else.
She laughs.
Now, wouldn't that look? I have an idea. I know we don't know each other very well, but time is so short and a connection is so rare. If we get out of here, will you meet me again in Arx?
Ain't fit for beasts.
She leans forward and grazes your...
Until then, careful. Don't want to catch Griff in a bad mood.
The Divine himself, Lucian. Shrine's turned into a memorial, it seems.
The shrine depicts Lucian the Divine, avatar of the 7 gods. It does not react.
Shrine, by the looks of it.
Come on then, let's see. Lay up.
bow your head, please. If we chant the endless prayer, the next divine will ascend. So do I. By the divine, so do I. If Bishop Alexander doesn't rise, I don't know who will protect. Some blame the Voidwoken for Alexander's failure to ascend. If all we sorcerers can be cured, then the bishop shall be free to rise. So chant.
Hey, I know.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves enthusiastically and dips into a mock elegant...
Back then, I was... Madame... You. Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor to set the tone for the week, eh? How'd you escape? Me too. Did you hear something? When you were in the water, I mean. No. I mean, not more unusual than usual. It's just, I thought maybe...
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. Her eyes lose focus, and her whole body goes... She is stock-still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours. Dark light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey...
Anyway, what were we talking about? Ah, it's nothing really. It's just... I'm just a bit... well, a bit... hospitable? Ha! What I mean is, look, you've never been a host, right? That's because you're like a clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, but I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied. Feels like just one, strangely enough. Big one, though. Don't know its name yet, either. It takes time for them to get comfortable, and... So, how are you enjoying the joy? Yeah, same story here. Reckon in my case. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to... Lately I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, summon, steal, whatever your little black heart desires. So, what'll it be? Sounds fine. Yeah? Hey, wait a sec. It looks like you have all the company you need. Till then.
Right, God. Will you quit dragging this on? Ain't that hard, Lexi. Just hand over the gold.
This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate like this one. Griff already knows she don't.
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him. It's Ifan, who you met aboard the ship.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff, especially not one of you. Runs the kitchen. Means he runs me, you, and everyone else in camp. Everyone in camp's got to contribute. For food, for protection,
Food? Protection? I have neither.
Burrow looks you both up and down.
Get out of here. The both of you. You ain't worth it.
The elf smiles and bows to you.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
You hear them, don't you?
I am glad to see you. You fill me with peace. Ah, you help him. Your open heart surprises even me. You bless me.
Whoever kills the other is the boss! You can't get me!
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their own for an elf.
The elf appears momentarily puzzled by your comment, but then offers you a dignified little...
As far as I'm concerned, you are noble and just in both actions and appearance. I am in your debt. It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. We are healing a tree cut down with great violence. The Magisters come. My family runs, but in this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more than we know. In the camp, the brute, I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through. Through the Magisters, through their cure. Thugs, I can stand, but wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. Thank you.
Whoever kills the other is the boss! You're cheating!
I know they help.
I'll stab you right in the eye! You're cheating!
I know they help.
Got you! I got you! I magicked you! You're dead!
I feel him, but I do not see him.
If a magister finds us on you, you forget my name here. Keep it down, will you?
Ifan rolls his sleeves back down.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops.
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours. He grips your hand tight as a vice and pauses. His fingertips feel your finger bones. His eyes narrow, but a moment later he shrugs and smiles.
Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back, and it looks like you could use someone to watch your... I've just got a small errand to run. And then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here, while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place?
He shrugs, looking off to...
Mercenaries. It's a job. My job. Everyone needs to make a living. I make my...
The little black cat trailing you hisses at him, hair raising a ridge along its back. Without batting an eyelid, the man rumbles a lupine growl. The cat hides behind your leg, mewling. He shoots you a flinty look, all teeth and peril.
Lone wolves only share such information with friends. Are we going to be friends?
He grins, sharp teeth.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? Can do.
He scans the horizon for threats with...
Looks like you've got quite a busy little crew already. My instincts tell me to travel with a smaller pack.
I saw what you did there, convincing Burrow not to lay the law down on that elf. Why do you want to help one of them? You watch yourself. Oddballs don't last long.
She's gone, Farah. Gone.
Say what you will about the Divine Order.
A fella can't hear himself think with all... Hear that, Farah? You got to cut that out. What's happened to ya?
Known her all my life. Her little girl Irma, too. Farah was a straight-shooting woman in those days, but now she's madder than a cuckoo into Isis loud.
What else do you call hollering after a ghost? That child of hers she's shouting after has... And there ain't no amount...
I can't wait all day. I can't wait all day. wait all day.
Please, please, you must help me. No one here will help me. Not one of these bastards. A child is missing. My baby. The Magisters. They don't care whether we live or die. And Griff and his thugs would sooner cut out my tongue than hear a plea for help. No, they can't help me at all. I last saw her just here, near 3 days ago. She was playing with her little doll, and I was washing out her tunic. I turned from her for one moment. Yes, of course. Here, you should take it with you. When you find her, give her the doll and tell her, Mummy...
She soaks up a steady stream.
She ought to come with you then. She ought to follow you back to me. This place turns people cold. Cold and wicked. You are an angel. Mummy's right here. Where are you?
She's gone, Farah. Gone!
You there? I'm looking for an inmate. He wears a large bronze ring with a dragon stamped into it. Have you seen him? Useless. It is a very important matter that I locate this Migo.
Greetings, child. I find myself in your so-called divine lands, yet I feel his absence deep in my heart all the same. If there's no rest for the wicked, there's plenty of rest for Lucian, my friend. So we ought to beg all the harder for his return. Go well, my child. Perhaps the Divine will return to us yet.
Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
Looky here, mates. A fresh face. We love fresh face. Why don't you join us in a round of cards? First hands on the house. Chuff to you, Chief. Here are your cards.
You glance at your hand. 2 purple monarchs. A hard hand to beat.
Well, that was easy. Looks like you'll have to pay your interment fee after all, Freshy. I'm sure the Reds told ya. No one gets along without paying the interment fee. So, let's make this easy. Empty your pockets. Are you really gonna make this so hard, Freshy? Go on then. Whatever pennies you've got in your pocket ain't worth my breath. But don't you go telling Griff I was soft on you. Another inmate, but you wouldn't guess it. Runs this place like he's Dallas herself. Shouldn't be too hard to find him in the kitchen. He may even have work for a strong back like yours.
What of it? Yeah, what of it?
10 bottles of mead, or 1,000 bottles.
The woman is scrabbling at her throat, as though she can hardly breathe.
Don't touch me. You're too close. This collar, this place, it's squeezing the life from me. Do you? You seem fine. Don't you feel how tight this collar is?
Her hands move again to her throat. She seems to try to make space between her...
Ho ho! Ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? They're all I got left after your buddies were through with me. That's so. Huh. You look just like them. But then again, I never was the best at telling.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone? It's just, I've a proposition. Something very worth knowing. But it's hardly a group affair. I only need one. In that case, listen up. You must think me mad to approach a stranger, but this camp is full of cowards and I'm running out of time. Fast. Too fast. Way too fast. I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else. People get taken sometimes. I have a way out of here. It won't be easy, and I need a... Are you interested? Believe whatever you want. This may be your only chance at leaving this place. Take it or... You're lost, my friend.
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts, and doesn't look up as you approach.
The ground. I don't know what you... I'm just trying to work it out. What happened? Why? My mind? What else, my friend? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the Divine. Why? Naturally. How could one not? How can it be that it suddenly summons these horrors from the void? And when will Alexander ascend to divinity? We cannot continue like this.
1,000 bottles of dust. 50 bottles of tears, oh. Make the hinges rust.
Better even to puke yourself to death than get purged. You should be happy for it.
What did you say?
That's what happened, isn't it?
Please, excuse us.
You're talking to me, not him, Sam.
Oh, for the love of Lucian, Balladeer. You're...
Say it again. What you said about my wife. Go on. Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if it was messy? I'd rather puke myself to death 1,000 times than let the Reds get to me. If she were my wife, I'd be happy for her.
A flat smile twitches across Balladier's...
She never did like you. Bastard.
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward the nearly finished coffin, bloodied hammer in hand.
Murder's a big word. And no, this here's a bed for someone 1,000 times better than that snake. Rest her soul.
The love of my life. Gret. She passed in the night. Something in the...
He tenderly runs a hand along the coffin's side.
If she were here, she'd tell me this plank is crooked. Chastise me for using warped wood on her final bed. Then she'd laugh and kiss me. Just here.
The man holds a hand to his cheek for a moment. He turns from you, lines up another nail. He taps hammer to nail and...
Wouldn't know a thing about you and I, Gretty.